Hello everyone, how are you doing? It's super good to be here with you guys again, and by here I mean outside in the rain. We have obviously had some smoke recently, and I am so thankful that the skies are finally raining again and that it is officially fall. Yay! This week we're going to be doing James. We're getting into the third chapter, so we will be reading James chapter 3, verses 1 through 6. My translation is going to be N.T. Wright's translation. He wrote this wonderful commentary, on all of the New Testament, but James and a few other letters are what's relevant to us here. I'll try and remember to put a link in the YouTube video so you guys can click on that if you're interested in buying it. It's a great resource for studying the Bible, whether you're a parent, a kid, or a pastor, because he says things very succinctly and clearly, and it's always great to be able to study the Bible more. But before I ramble too much, let's begin starting in James 3, verse 1. Not many of you should become teachers, my brothers and sisters. You know that we will be judged more severely. All of us make many mistakes, after all. If anyone makes no mistakes in what they say, such a person is fully complete as a human, capable of keeping control over the whole body as well. We put bits into the mouths of horses, and through them we can direct their whole bodies. Consider two large ships. It takes strong winds to blow them along, but one small rudder will turn them whichever way the helmsman desires and decides. In the same way, the tongue is a little member, but boasts great things. See how small a fire it takes to set a large forest ablaze, and the tongue is a fire. The tongue is a world of injustice, with its place established right there among our members. It defiles the whole body. It sets the wheel of nature ablaze, and it itself is set ablaze by hell. It's quite the bit right there. Now, aside from being topical, because, again, fires, there's something very interesting to think about in this verse. He talks about horses. They did not have cars during this day, obviously, so horses are the big, powerful, fast-moving, charging steed that if they came running along the road, you would step out of the way because you don't want to get trampled. And they usually carried important people. Not everyone had a horse, but if you could afford one, then you probably could make good money using it. Second comes a ship, another common and expedient way to transport oneself around. Ships were large, they were expensive, but they're controlled by a helmsman, and the helmsman took the helm, which was sort of like the steering wheel, but it was a lever, and they would use that to control the direction of the ship, as James writes in this. So a modern day application might be, think of how little effort it takes to steer a car. I can steer mine with a finger, or a pilot piloting a jetliner can do it with just one or two fingers. It's very, very easy. But these are powerful things. If they're misused, I can get in a wreck with my car. I can cause a crash, God forbid, if I was an airplane pilot who was misusing my energies. Our tongues are like that. I'm speaking to you using mine right now. I'm communicating a message, an important one about the Bible, at least I hope so. How we speak matters. And it is easier to speak and be heard now than I think it's ever been. I'm posting this online, and while only a few dozen of you might see it, there are people with just as much effort as me, have hundreds, thousands, millions of individuals hearing what they say. And as a Christian, as a leader, I'm held to a higher standard. My words matter more because the message I am trying to relay with my words and with my life is the message of the gospel of Jesus. Everything I say should be loving. Everything I do should set a form of fire that's not going to burn things down, but to keep things warm. If you were standing where I am, you can see a fire pit that we're still not using because even though it's raining, there's still a fire danger. But we use that during the summer when it's safe, or the fall, to cook, to keep warm, to sit outside and enjoy being in the country. Our fires that we spread with our tongue should be like that, warming. I'm getting wet standing here, and I will go inside and be next to a heater. That kind of comfort that we get from the fireplace should be the same comfort that Christians provide with their words. How I speak to you, even if I disagree with you, even if I'm upset with you, or if you're upset with me, we need to convey love. In Matthew, Jesus references, and I'm going to open up the book again because I don't remember the exact verse, so if you'll excuse me that. In Matthew 12:34 and Luke 6:43, Jesus talks about how words coming out of our mouths show whether or not we're clean on the inside, rather than the food or whatever we eat going into us. Our words, our actions, whether we're using our lips or our fingers on the keyboard, show what we are inside. Now, we all misspeak. We all say things that are incorrect or unelegant. That happens. That's part of being human. But we can also use our words to apologize and to change our course of action. So, questions for this week. What does it look like to use your tongue, your fire, in a constructive way as a Christian, as opposed to destructive? And the other one would be, how have we been misusing our words as Christians? Goes for the parents and the kids alike. How are we setting small fires to destroy, not to keep warm? And as you think about those two things, let's consider Jesus. How did he use his language? He wasn't always positive. He certainly criticized the Pharisees and other religious people or political people who are misusing their powers to hurt people. But still, somehow, Jesus was loving as he did it. So how do we follow Jesus' example with how we use our words? Okay. I love you guys. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying the rain, but staying warm. And I hope that everyone is excited for fall. Best of luck to those of you who started school this week. I know we've got some new middle schoolers in the youth group, and best of luck, guys. Middle school's hard normally, but when you're social distance learning, I imagine that's a little bit of extra difficulty, but I know you're smart, and I know you work hard, and that you are going to rock this year. Take care, everyone. Jesus loves you, and I do too.